Sophia realized something was wrong when Noah got sick. Not seriously sick, just a cold. Normal baby stuff. But when she took him to the doctor, they ran standard tests. Blood work, routine screening, and something came back unusual. Mrs. Chen, the doctor said. He thought she was their mother. She never corrected him. Noah's blood work shows some genetic markers we'd like to investigate further. Nothing alarming, just unusual. What kind of markers? Markers that suggest a predisposition to certain conditions, heart issues, autoimmune disorders, things we'd want to monitor as he grows. The doctor pulled out charts. Does heart disease run in your family? Or Mr. Carter's? Sophia froze, because she didn't know. She wasn't their mother. And Marcus and Ava were in prison, unreachable except through heavily monitored letters. I'm not sure, she said carefully. I'll have to check. Please do. It's important we have complete medical histories for both twins. These kinds of genetic markers can be hereditary. Sophia left with Noah and Lily, her mind racing. Medical histories, genetic markers, family health information, information she didn't have, information that might be crucial to keeping these babies healthy. And suddenly, the question that Marcus and Ava had never answered became unavoidable. Which twin was whose, genetically speaking? Noah could be Marcus's biological son, or the donor's. And that distinction might matter, medically, legally, in ways nobody had considered. She spent the next 3 days researching. Late at night after the twins were asleep, she'd sit at her laptop reading medical journals about genetic markers and hereditary conditions. Noah's test results suggested potential cardiac issues, things that could be minor, or things that could be life-threatening if not monitored properly. But the treatments, the preventive care, the specialists they'd need, all of it depended on family medical history. If Noah was Marcus's son, she needed to know about the Harrington family's medical background. Marcus's mother had died of cancer. What else ran in that family? Heart disease? Genetic conditions? If Noah was the donor's son, she needed that medical history instead. But the donor was anonymous, untraceable. Those records were sealed. Either way, she was trapped. She couldn't get the information she needed without knowing whose genetics Noah carried. And she couldn't know that without testing. Testing that Marcus and Ava had specifically chosen not to do. Testing that would answer a question they'd decided was better left unanswered. Sophia called Diana on day 4. I need advice, medical advice, legal advice, I don't know anymore. What's going on? Sophia explained everything. Noah's test results, the doctor's concerns, the need for family medical history. Can you get medical records from Marcus's family? Diana asked. I can try, but what if Noah isn't Marcus's biological son? What if I'm treating him based on the wrong genetic profile? What if I miss something crucial because I'm looking at the wrong family history? Diana was quiet. You're thinking about genetic testing. I don't want to. I know Marcus and Ava didn't want to know. But this isn't about wanting to know. This is about keeping Noah healthy. Maybe keeping both of them healthy. Sophia, if you do this, you can't unknow the results. And if those results somehow get out, I know all the risks, but what's the alternative? Hope that Noah's okay without proper medical monitoring? Risk his health to protect a secret that might not even matter? It matters to Marcus and Ava, and Noah matters to me. These babies matter to me. Sophia's voice broke. I failed, Emma. I can't fail them too. If there's information that could keep them safe, I need to have it, even if it complicates everything. Diana sighed. If you do this, you need to be careful. Use a private lab, pay cash, don't use your real name or theirs, keep the results completely confidential. Only you and the doctor see them, nobody else. Not me, not anyone. You think I should do it? I think you're in an impossible position, and I think you're going to do what you think is right regardless of what I say. So if you're going to do it smart. Protect yourself. Protect them. Thank you. Don't thank me. This could blow up in all our faces. But I understand why you're considering it. Sometimes the right choice is the one that hurts. Sophia scheduled the appointment for the next day. A private genetics lab 2 towns over. No connection to their regular doctor. No ties to the Harrington name. She brought both twins. If she was going to do this, she needed complete information. The lab technician was professional, efficient, asked no questions about why a woman wanted genetic testing on 2 babies who looked nothing alike. Results in 2 weeks, she said. We'll call with preliminary findings. Full report by mail to the address you provided. Sophia had given a P.O. box, another layer of protection. Will the results include medical information, genetic predispositions, full genetic profile, everything you need for medical planning? And it's confidential, completely confidential, HIPAA protected. We don't share results with anyone except the person who ordered the test. In this case, you. Sophia paid cash, took the twins home, and spent the next 2 weeks in a state of constant anxiety. What had she done? Had she just destroyed everything Marcus and Ava had built, or had she potentially saved their children's lives? She wouldn't know until the results came. Meanwhile, the twins were growing. Lily was crawling now, fast. She'd take off across the apartment, grabbing everything, exploring everything. Noah was more careful. He'd sit and observe before moving, planning his route, thinking through his actions. They were so different, not just physically, personality-wise, temperamentally, but they were inseparable. If one cried, the other would cry too. If one laughed, the other would smile. They were connected in ways that went beyond genetics, ways that made Sophia wonder if DNA really mattered at all. Your parents love you so much, she'd tell them every night. They're fighting to come home to you. They think about you every second of every day. And when they come back, we're going to be a family again. All Ophis, together. Lily would grab her hair and giggle. Noah would stare at her with those serious gray eyes, like he was trying to understand. And Sophia would feel the weight of responsibility crushing her. These babies trusted her. Marcus and Ava trusted her. And she'd just gone behind their backs to answer a question they'd specifically decided not to ask. Then Lily had a bad reaction to her vaccinations. Swelling, fever, symptoms, the doctor said, suggested possible allergies or sensitivities. We should do an allergy panel, the pediatrician recommended. And I'm going to need that family, medical history, both sides, anything about allergies, autoimmune issues, genetic conditions. I'm working on getting that information, Sophia said. Work faster. These reactions can escalate. If Lily has serious allergies we don't know about, the next reaction could be life-threatening. Sophia called the genetics lab that afternoon. The results aren't ready yet. I don't care. I need preliminary findings. Now. It's a medical emergency. The lab technician put her on hold. Came back 5 minutes later. I can give you basic preliminary results, but the full report isn't complete. That's fine. Just tell me. Do either of the children show markers for severe allergies, autoimmune disorders, anything that would explain a vaccination reaction? Papers rustling on the other end. Yes. Subject B, the female child, shows markers consistent with heightened immune response, potential for allergic reactions. Common allergens include certain proteins found in standard vaccinations. Is this genetic? Inherited? Appears to be. The markers are consistent with maternal genetics primarily, but there's also paternal contribution from. The technician paused. I probably shouldn't say more without the full report. Please, I need to know. Which parent? What family history should I be looking at? Another pause. Then, the paternal contribution is from subject B's biological father. The genetic profile doesn't match subject A's biological father. They have different paternal genetics. Sophia's heart stopped. You're saying the twins have different fathers? Yes, that's in the preliminary findings. Is that. Were you not aware? I was aware. I just needed it confirmed. Sophia tried to keep her voice steady. Can you tell me anything else about subject B's biological father? Any medical history embedded in the genetic markers? Not much without access to his actual medical records, but the genetic markers suggest Northern European ancestry. Some predisposition to autoimmune conditions. That's likely where the allergy sensitivity comes from. Northern European. The donor they'd chosen had been Northern European. So Lily was the donor's daughter. Definitively. Scientifically. And Noah was Marcus's son. The answer Sophia had been dreading. The answer Marcus and Ava had chosen not to know. Thank you, Sophia said. Can you rush the full report? We'll do our best. Should have it to you in a week. Sophia hung up and sat there with two babies playing at her feet, knowing something their parents didn't know, something that could destroy everything or save everything, depending on who found out. She tried to keep it to herself, told the pediatrician that Lily had inherited allergies from her father's side without specifying which father, got Lily on a modified vaccination schedule that avoided the proteins she was sensitive to, monitored Noah for cardiac issues without explaining why she was being so vigilant. She became hypervigilant about their health. Every cough, every fever, every slight change in behavior sent her into panic mode. You need to relax, her friend told her one afternoon. They were at a park watching the twins play. You're going to give yourself a heart attack, worrying about these babies. I just want to keep them safe. They're safe. They're healthy. You're doing an amazing job. But what if I'm missing something? What if there's some genetic condition I don't know about because I don't have complete medical histories? What if something happens to them because I didn't have all the information? Her friend looked at her seriously. Sophia, you can't know everything. No parent can. You do the best you can with the information you have. That's all anyone can do. But I do have information Marcus and Ava don't have, information that might be important. Then tell them. I can't. They specifically chose not to know. Getting the testing done was already a betrayal. Telling them their results would be what? Honest? Helpful? Giving them information that might matter? Sophia watched Lily crawl across the grass toward a flower. Noah followed carefully behind her, always protecting his sister. Would be taking away their choice? Sophia finished. They chose not to know because they decided it didn't matter. Telling them now would make it matter, would change how they see the twins, how they see themselves as parents. Or it would give them peace, knowing for certain, having medical information that could keep their children safe. I don't know what's right anymore. Her friend squeezed her hand. Then maybe that's a sign you need more help. You're carrying this alone. You shouldn't have to. But who could she tell? Diana had specifically told her to keep the results confidential. Marcus and Ava were in prison, unreachable. She had no one. She was alone with a secret that felt like a bomb waiting to explode. The full genetic report arrived 8 days later, thick envelope, dozens of pages, comprehensive analysis of both twins' genetic profiles. Sophia read every page, twice. Noah, definitely Marcus Harrington's biological son. Genetic markers consistent with the Harrington family history. Potential for cardiac issues. Minor, manageable with monitoring. No significant hereditary diseases detected. Overall, healthy genetic profile. Lily, biological daughter of anonymous donor, number 3847. Northern European ancestry. Genetic markers for heightened immune response and autoimmune sensitivity. Potential for allergies. Significant, requires ongoing management. No major hereditary diseases detected. Overall healthy genetic profile with manageable complications. Both children. Strong genetic health overall. Normal development expected. Recommended ongoing monitoring for identified conditions. Full medical histories of biological parents recommended for comprehensive care. Sophia closed the report and put it in a locked box she kept hidden in her closet. Information that could change everything. Information she prayed no one else would ever see. But secrets have a way of getting out. 6 weeks after Sophia learned the truth, a journalist contacted her. Someone who'd been following the Harrington case. Someone who'd gotten wind of genetic testing being done on the twins. Ms. Chen, I'm writing a piece about the Harrington family, about Marcus and Ava's sacrifice, about your raising their children. I'd love to include some details about how the twins are doing, their health, their development. It seemed innocent, a human interest story, but Sophia knew better. I'm not interested in talking to the media. I understand, but I already have some information about genetic testing, about medical records. I'm going to publish with or without your comment. I thought you'd prefer to have your side represented. Sophia's heart stopped. Where did you get information about medical records? Those are private. I have sources. Doctors talk. Lab technicians talk. Hospital administrators talk, especially when there's affamous family involved. The journalist paused. So here's my question, Ms. Chen. Is it true that one of the twins isn't biologically Marcus Harrington's child? Is it true that Lily is actually the product of the IVF procedure that caused all this mess in the first place? Sophia felt her world collapsing. How did you? I told you. Sources. People talk, especially when there's money involved. The journalist's voice turned, calculating. I can publish what I have. Speculation, anonymous sources, half-truths, or you can give me a non-the-record statement. Confirm or deny, give context, help people understand. I have no comment. No comment usually means yes. I'm publishing tomorrow. You have until then to give me a statement. Otherwise, I'm going with the story I have. Harrington twins genetic testing reveals secret. One child not biologically related to imprisoned father. You can't. I can. And I will, unless you give me something better. She hung up, and Sophia realized with horror that the secret was out. James would know by tomorrow. The world would know, and everything Marcus and Ava had fought for would collapse. She called Diana immediately, hands shaking. A journalist knows about the testing, about the results. He's publishing tomorrow. Diana swore, something Sophia had never heard her do. How? How did he find out? He says he has sources, lab technicians, doctors. Someone talked. I warned you this could happen. Private labs aren't as private as they claim. Someone always talks. Diana was typing furiously. Okay, we need to get ahead of this. Control the narrative before it controls us. How? We confirm the story. On our terms. We release a statement explaining that genetic testing was done for medical purposes, that the results are private, but that both children are healthy and loved, that genetics don't determine parenthood. Will that work? Probably not. But it's better than letting a tabloid journalist write the story. Diana paused. Sophia, I need you to be honest with me. What exactly do the results say? Sophia took a breath. Noah is Marcus's biological son. Lily is the donor's biological daughter. Both are healthy with manageable medical issues that require monitoring. That's it. That's everything. And you're absolutely certain these results are accurate? Yes. The lab is reputable. The testing was comprehensive. There's no doubt. Then we prepare for war. Because James is going to use this, he's going to argue that his rights were terminated under false pretenses, that he didn't know Lily wasn't a Harrington heir. But the donor's identity is anonymous. James can't prove Lily is his. Diana's silence was telling. What? Sophia asked. What aren't you telling me? When James submitted his DNA for the original custody testing, his genetic profile was entered into databases, legal databases, medical databases, places where genetic markers can be compared. Diana's voice was grim. If someone compares Lily's genetic profile to James's profile, they'll find something. Find what? Not a match, but similarities, overlaps, things that suggest genetic relationship even without being parent and child. I don't understand. The donor Marcus and Ava used. There's a possibility, small but real, that the donor was chosen specifically because his genetic markers were similar to Harrington family markers, to create a child who would physically resemble Marcus, even without being his biological daughter. Sophia felt sick. Are you saying the clinic deliberately chose a donor who resembled James? I'm saying genetic selection is complicated, and sometimes clinics make choices that seem medically sound but have unintended consequences. Diana paused. We won't know unless we compare. But if there are genetic overlaps between Lily and James, he could argue that even though she's not his daughter, she's close. Enough genetically that his termination of rights was based on incomplete information. That's insane. That's family law. Biology matters, genetics matter, even when they shouldn't. So what do? We fight, like we always do. But Sophia, you need to prepare yourself. This is going to get ugly. The media is going to tear apart every choice Marcus and Ava made, every choice you made. And Lily is going to grow up knowing the whole world debated whether she was legitimate or not. Sophia looked at Lily, who was pulling herself up on the couch, so proud of her accomplishment. 9 months old, innocent, perfect, unaware that her entire identity was about to become a public debate. This is my fault, Sophia whispered. I did the testing. I couldn't leave it alone, and now I've destroyed everything. You did what you thought was medically necessary. We'll deal with the consequences. But right now, I need you to stay strong for those babies, because this is just the beginning. The Suts article was published the next morning. Harrington twins, one heir, one imposter. It was everywhere, every news site, every social media platform, every morning show. The story had everything: billionaire scandal, genetic fraud, children caught in the middle. And it was named Lily specifically. Sources confirm that Lily Harrington, daughter of convicted fugitives Marcus and Ava Harrington, is not biologically related to Marcus Harrington. The child is the product of an IVF procedure using an anonymous donor, a procedure the Harringtons attempted to hide during custody negotiations with biological father James Chen. The backlash was immediate and split. Some people defended Marcus and Ava, said genetics didn't matter, said James was still a predator who deserved no rights. Love makes family, not DNA. Marcus Harrington is that little girl's father, regardless of biology. This is just another attack on a family that's already suffered enough. But others turned viciously. They lied. They manipulated the legal system. They claimed Lily was a Harrington heir when she wasn't. James Chen deserves to know his daughter isn't who they said she was. This whole family is built on lies and fraud. Why should we believe anything they say? And the worst comment, the one that made Sophia want to scream, that poor little girl, growing up knowing she's not really a Harrington, knowing she's just some donor's kid, knowing her parents went to prison protecting a lie. The comments section became a war zone. Sophia made the mistake of reading them. If I found out I wasn't biologically related to my dad, I'd be devastated. That girl is going to have identity issues for life. Biology doesn't matter. My adopted son is my real son. Genetics are irrelevant. But they lied about it. That's the problem. They pretended both kids were Harrington heirs when one wasn't. They didn't lie. They just didn't tell everyone their private medical information, which is their right. Not when it affects custody and legal rights. Then it becomes everyone's business. A child's genetics should never be everyone's business. On and on and on. Thousands of comments, millions of views. Lily's genetic identity had become public entertainment, and there was nothing Sophia could do to stop it. James Chen filed a motion within 24 hours, requesting that the custody case be reopened, arguing that he'd terminated his rights under false pretenses, claiming that he'd believed Lily to be a Harrington heir, part of the genetic legacy he'd been trying to access, and that the revelation she wasn't changed everything. Furthermore, his motion read, genetic analysis suggests potential overlap between the anonymous donor's profile and my own genetic markers. This suggests the Harringtons may have deliberately chosen a donor with genetic similarities to my family, further complicating questions of biological heritage and parental rights. Diana read the motion aloud to Sophia over the phone. He's arguing that even though Lily isn't his biological daughter, the genetic overlaps mean his termination was based on incomplete information. Can he do that? Can he reopen a case based on speculation about genetic overlaps? He can try. And given the media circus, given public interest, a judge might allow it just to be thorough. Diana sighed. Sophia, we're in trouble. Real trouble. The kind that could mean Marcus and Ava lose custody entirely when they get out. The kind that could mean Lily ends up with James after all. Sophia felt panic rising. We have to stop him. We have to. We have to bring the twins back. To the city. To the proper legal jurisdiction. Right now you're in a gray area. 2 states away. And James's lawyers are going to use that against us. Bring them back into the media circus, where photographers are waiting to take pictures of them, where everyone wants to debate which child is real and which one isn't. Yes, because if you don't, James is going to argue you're hiding them, that you're obstructing his access, that the entire Harrington operation is still trying to keep him from his rights. He doesn't have rights. He terminated them. He had rights. Now he's arguing that he terminated them based on false information. And we need to prove he's wrong. We can't do that if you and the twins are in hiding. Sophia looked at Lily and Noah playing together on the floor. Happy, safe, unaware. I can't, she whispered. I can't bring them into that. The cameras, the questions, people are calling Lily an imposter. I can't do that to her. Then you're doing exactly what Marcus and Ava did, and you'll end up exactly where they are, in legal trouble, possibly in jail, definitely separated from these children. The truth of it hit Sophia like a physical blow. She was becoming them, running, hiding, breaking laws to protect the children she loved. And it would destroy her the same way it had destroyed them. I need time to think, Sophia said. You have 24 hours, then I'm filing a response to James's motion. And that response needs to include a plan for the twins' return to proper legal jurisdiction. Or what? Or James's lawyers will file a kidnapping charge against you, and they'll win, because technically you're violating the custody arrangement by leaving the state without permission. Sophia felt trapped, completely, utterly trapped. I didn't ask for any of this. I just wanted to keep them safe, to have medical information in case something went wrong. I know, but good intentions don't protect you in family court. Only evidence and compliance do. Diana hung up, and Sophia sat there with 2 babies who depended on her, wondering how protecting them had turned into destroying everything. She tried to think rationally, make a plan, but every option led to disaster. Stay hidden, legal charges eventually found, twins taken forcibly. Return voluntarily. Media circus, public scrutiny, James. Gets access? Fight legally. Expensive, time-consuming, uncertain outcome. Run further. Become a fugitive, ruin her life, and still eventually be caught. There was no good choice, just degrees of bad. She called her friend, the one she'd talked to at the park. I need help. I'm in serious trouble, and I don't know what to do. Her friend listened to everything. The genetic testing, the leak, James's motion, Diana's ultimatum. You need to come back, her friend said finally. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. Those babies deserve stability, not running. They deserve to be in a place where Marcus and Ava can find them when they get out. But the media will lose interest eventually. They always do. Right now, you're the story because you're hiding. Come back, face it head on, and they'll move on to the next scandal. And if James wins, if he gets custody, then you fight harder. But you fight from inside the system, not outside it. Because outside the system, you have no power, no voice, no rights. Sophia knew she was right. hated it, but knew it. Okay, she said finally. I'll come back, but I need you to do something for me. Anything. Come with me, help me face it, because I don't think I can do this alone. Her friend didn't hesitate. I'll be there tomorrow. We'll drive back together. You, me, and those babies, and we'll face whatever comes. Sophia cried then. Relief, fear, and gratitude all mixed together. She wasn't alone. Even when everything was falling apart, she wasn't alone. But before she could make plans to return, something happened that changed everything. The friend whose house she was staying at had a daughter, teenage girl, social media obsessed, and she recognized Sophia from the news. Oh my God, you're her. You're the woman with the Harrington babies. Sophia's blood ran cold. Please, don't say anything. I'm trying to protect them from... But the girl was already on her phone. This is so crazy. Everyone's talking about you, about the twins, about how one of them isn't really a Harrington. She looked at Lily and Noah, innocent and unaware in their playpen. Which one is it? Which one's the fake one? Neither of them is fake. They're both real children who deserve privacy, and I'm just asking. Everyone wants to know. The girl was typing, posting. Is it the girl? It's the girl, right? She doesn't look like her dad at all, but the boy does. He has those gray eyes. Stop. Please stop. But the girl had already posted a photo of Sophia with the twins, location tagged, caption, found them. The Harrington twins are here. This is insane. Hashtag Harrington scandal, hashtag genetic truth, hashtag twin mystery. Within seconds, the post had likes. Within minutes, hundreds of shares. Within an hour, news vans were pulling up outside. And Sophia realized she'd made everything infinitely worse. She grabbed the twins, packed essentials, called her friend in panic. I need you now, right now. The media found us. I have to leave. Where will you go? I don't know. Anywhere. Away from cameras and questions and... Sophia, stop. Running makes it worse. You know that. I can't let them photograph these babies. Can't let them turn Lily into a spectacle. Then don't run. Face them. Give them one statement, one photo, one moment of what they want. Then it's old news. I can't. You have to. Because if you run now, you become the story. The woman who kidnapped the Harrington twins. The woman who caused a manhunt. Is that what you want? Sophia looked at Lily and Noah, both crying now, sensing her panic, feeding off her fear. She was making this worse. Her fear was hurting them. What do I say? She asked, her voice breaking. You say the truth, that you love these babies, that you're caring for them until their parents come home, that genetic testing was done for medical reasons, that everyone needs to leave this family alone. And then what? Then you call Diana. You go back to the city. You face this legally. You stop running. Sophia closed her eyes, took a breath. Okay, I'll do it. She went outside, cameras everywhere, reporters shouting questions. She held up one hand. They quieted. My name is Sophia Chen. I'm caring for Lily and Noah Harrington while their parents serve time for protecting them from a predator. Genetic testing was done for medical purposes only. Both children are healthy and loved. Their genetics do not define their family. Marcus and Ava Harrington are their parents. Period. She paused. Now please, leave us alone. Let these children grow up in peace. She went back inside. The reporters kept shouting questions, but she'd said her piece. Now she just had to hope it was enough. It wasn't enough. The video went viral. Millions of views. Endless commentary. She looked scared. Those babies looked confused. This whole situation is tragic. Where's the girl's real father? Why isn't James Chen allowed to see his daughter? Because he's a predator who violated their mother. We don't know that for sure. We only have the Harringtons' word. The debate raged on, getting uglier, getting more personal. And through it all, James Chen stayed silent. No press conferences, no statements, no public appearances. Just his lawyers, filing motions, building a case, preparing for a custody battle that would determine Lily's entire future. Sophia called Diana in tears 3 days later. I messed up. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to protect them, and now. I know. I saw the video. It was actually good. You came across as sympathetic, caring, exactly what we need. But the media won't stop. They're still camped outside, following us everywhere. Then come back to the city. Where can I protect you legally? Where can we prepare for James's custody challenge? What about the twins? Where will they go? They'll go into temporary state custody until we sort this out. It's not ideal, but it's better than no. Sophia's voice was firm. Absolutely not. Marcus and Ava trusted me to keep them safe, not to hand them over to strangers. Sophia, you don't have a choice. James's motion is gaining traction. The judge is considering reopening the case. If you don't comply with legal proceedings, you'll be charged with obstruction. Let them charge me. I'm not handing over these babies. Then you're going to end up in prison, just like Marcus and Ava. Is that what you want? Sophia looked at Lily and Noah, playing, laughing, trusting her completely. I want them to be safe. That's all I've ever wanted. They'll be safe in state custody. It's temporary, just until. Until what? Until James wins? Until they're handed over to a man who violated their mother? No, that's not safety. That's abandonment. Sophia, I'm done talking. I'll figure this out on my own. She hung up and sat there, alone with 2 babies and no plan, wondering how protecting them had turned into destroying everything, including herself. That's where I'm leaving you today, because sometimes doing the right thing feels exactly like doing the wrong thing. Sometimes protecting children means breaking laws. Sometimes love means making choices that everyone else will judge. Sophia ordered genetic testing to keep the twins medically safe, and now that information has become a weapon, used against the family she's trying to protect, used to question Lily's legitimacy, used to reopen wounds everyone thought had healed. Was she wrong to order the tests? Or was she wrong to let the results leak? Or is the real wrong the system that turned a private medical decision into a public spectacle? Drop a comment with where you're watching from and tell me, if you discovered information that could hurt someone you love, would you keep it secret? Or would you expose it if you thought it was for their own good? Because that's what Sophia did, and it's destroying everything. Next episode, you'll see what happens when Sophia makes her final choice. You'll see if she surrenders the twins to the system. You'll see what James does with the information he now has. And you'll see whether love really can survive when genetics becomes the only thing that matters.